Greeting friends and welcome. I'm so excited. Chess.com has their holiday Christmas bots out, and I played Eve rated 1000, and I made the dumbest opening you'd ever imagine. And I kept the hammer down and squeaked out a win. And so anyway, like all my games, I just stayed true and played it out, and hopefully I can learn from my mistakes and the audience can learn from my mistakes. And I'm going through all of their bots, and you can watch my other videos out there. So this game ended after 23 moves. I played the black pieces and ended up here. But don't be too impressed by that by any means, because I made several blunders, but kept the hammer down and squeaked out a win. And the computer says I played at 70%, Eve played at 59%. And so let's go through it, and some good fundamentals here, and let's see what happened. I love these bots. You can always try new things, and I'm all about that, but this is this takes trying new things to a whole another level where I just get pretty silly with it. But okay, so in the beginning, just remember to try to control the center and develop your pieces. Usually start with your minor pieces, and usually all things being equal, usually it's better to develop your knights before your bishops, and just try to control the center. Whatever ideas you want to come up with, start off with that. Maybe learn 2 or 3 openings and just kind of stick with those. But let's get to it. And I thought about, normally I push up the pawn and get rid of this bishop, but I thought, I'm going to try some different things here. And don't ever play hope chess, like, oh, I hope that my opponent doesn't see that I can take the bishop here with the knight if they don't take back with their knight. Just always play against yourself in your head and think, well, what would my opponent do? And okay, so, but I just wanted to try some things here. And yeah, I mean, I should have got ready to do a fanchetto or something like that, but okay. So let's keep this going. I've got a relative pin on that queen. Okay, not terrible so far on my part. Okay, now that is check, and here's where I start to fall apart. So I have a weakness here. My king is exposed, and I just totally overlooked this, and I retreat the bishop. I want this. I'm just like, oh, I gotta have this pin, and I made this decision way too hasty. And yeah, look at this. That's check for me, and there's only one way out, obviously, and I totally deserve that. So I defend with my queen, and I trade my queen for a bishop, which is ridiculous. But I kept the hammer down, and let's see what other kind of silliness I can get into here. Okay, so one of the things when you're doing your opening is try not to move around a piece too much. And you can see one of the takeaways from this video that I want the audience to see, and myself too, is I moved this bishop, was it 3-4 times, and neglecting my other pieces, and I paid the price for it. So that can be a mistake. I'm sorry, folks. I'm allergic to my own bull crap over here. All right, so let's keep this going. So now I'm able to put some pressure here. It's defended with the pawn. This is very unorthodox, and like I said, I got myself into a ridiculous situation. So, but what I want to do, what I decided was, look, there's one pawn, the king's exposed, okay. If I can get something happening on this file, I might be able to pull this off. So that's what I'm going for here, is I'm trying to bring all my pieces over here to the king's side and put my attack together. Okay, so there's check. And now I bring this rook into the game over here on the king side, and I've cut off, I've cut off the king. And so let's keep going with that. And here the computer made says I made a blunder, and the computer knows better than I do. My thought was, if this takes, I'll take back, and now I'll own the G file, is what I was thinking. And I really want to go here. This pawn protects it. That's probably why the computer says a blunder, because the computer probably said, I see you're wanting to control this square, but you can't because of this pawn. And I realized that I was really eyeing this square here. And so that's where I was wanting to get. This reminds me, one of the big another big takeaway from this video is use your pieces together. That is huge. One piece by itself, even the queen, can't do much. So get your pieces out there, use them together. This is a game that, I just really got silly with it. I was just, I don't really have a good excuse. I'd like to think of one right now, but okay. So this is what I was wanting to put together, and the computer said that was a great move, but okay. So let's keep this going. All right. So now this knight has this and this. So I own these squares. I now own this, I own this, and I own all of this. And so does my opponent. But I'm thinking, this is looking pretty good. I may have recovered a little bit here. And so then I take, and with my knight, now I completely own the G file. I got all this. This is supported by this bishop, so it can sit there. This is what I mean about using your pieces together. This knight is now beautifully placed, owning these squares, and we're just closing in around the king. And Eve is going to be checkmated here pretty quick, and there it is. And so the Eve 1000 ELO, a lot of fun. I think it's a respectable ELO. You have to stay on your toes. I got very silly, very sloppy with my opening, but hopefully that helps you learn. And the biggest takeaways: get your pieces out there, get them developed. Try not to move them more than once when you're opening. Like you saw me hop around with my bishop, big mistake. And use your pieces together. When you see an opening, a weakness like I did with that king, totally go for it, especially with playing these bots, see what happens. Hey, thanks a lot for watching, and check out some of my other videos where I go through some of these other bots. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.